Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Collingwood Connection. I'm Will and joined by the Fossil up there in Patterson Lakes. How you going this week, Foss?
Yeah, not too bad, Will. Yeah, it's pretty wet and windy down here, though, Will. And I'll tell you what, the bloody temperature's gone down very quickly. But we've got a very important game on Monday, Will. So hopefully the Pies can do the right thing, and we desperately need 4 points, or else we're going to be right back down in the ruck.
Yeah, exactly. Both sides looking for a win. Before we get to that, Fossil, you want to start us off this week?
Oh yeah, yeah. Just a tribute to Neil Daniher. William condolences to his family. You know, he's a beautiful person, and what he did for this foundation was absolutely magnificent. But I remember going down and watching him play when I was a kid. Well, there wasn't much of him, but I tell you what, he was tough as nails. He was tough as nails, and loved by all. So hopefully that Monday, I'm sure it'll go off with a big hit, and hopefully we get a. Be nice to get a record crowd there, William, for the Collingwood Melbourne game.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're going to have a big tribute. Obviously, before my time seeing him play, but the example he's shown, and well, the way that most people look at it, even myself, is a big freeze game. Not just the what was the Queen's birthday for a while, but the King's birthday clash. So I think that just speaks volumes of what Neil was able to do for the last 12 years while battling the beast and. He fought the big fight, Fossil, and left a legacy and hope those who are fighting or potentially fighting this horrible disease moving forward. He's at peace now. And I'll finish one of my favorite quotes from him is when all is said and done, more is said than done. So I think it's the mark of a person, not what you say, but what you do. So yeah, he's just an
Yeah.
absolute an absolute admiration for him and obviously yeah, it's now at peace. So,
Well,
uh,
yeah, well said, Will. Yeah, I think he's loved by millions and millions and millions, and congratulating his daughter's doing an absolutely magnificent job, you know. So it's going to be a tough week, but I'm sure they'll get through it, and everybody will get behind them on Monday. So I'm sure it'll be a great spectacle, and hopefully we can get a great game, and the Pies win by 10 points.
yeah, well, it might be a bit of an emotional, obviously, for those reasons. But being the Melbourne, they might just get that little bit of motivation. And anyway, that's the football side of it. So we'll jump in to this week. We'll start off with actually the topic of Bobby Hill. It looked like that he was on indefinite leave from what people were saying, but he's back at training, Fossil, as of yesterday. So.
Yeah, which
Uh,
is a good sign, Will. I'm sure the supporters would love that. So hopefully you can get a good block in. And I think we got Melbourne then the bye, William. Is that correct? Or
Yeah,
when's the bye?
Melbourne the bye, and then it's Port Adelaide Richmond in Melbourne. So yeah,
Yeah, so maybe, yeah, get another couple of weeks in. He seems pretty happy with it himself for the shots I was showing at training. So hopefully he can get back into it because I'll tell you what, William, since Elliott's gone down, we definitely need him.
yeah, exactly. And there were talks about, obviously, firstly, when we talk about Bobby, it's about him first and his health and his family. So all that is obviously the front of mind. But on a footy perspective, we obviously want him to be playing and. I think it's pretty clear cut now with Collingwood supporters that if he's right to go, we've seen him back at training, so let's get him back onto the field and doing what Bobby does best. And still got another 3 years. I think it's 27 to 29 with the Pies contracted. So if he does stay, hopefully we can get the best out of him. But if he does go, roughly 750 to 800,000 per year. So, if he does go and that's the path that he needs to take, then all the best for him. And then hopefully one that frees up the salary. The pick or whatever we get back for him won't be as strong, but obviously let's try and get him back on the park. And if he is here to play, then hopefully he can join the Pies very soon. So fingers crossed, Fossil.
Yeah, that's right. We just hope for the best, Will, and hopefully he's in a good headspace. And like you said, we can't wait to get him back out on the ground.
Exactly. All right, the game preview, guys. So it's the big freeze on the King's birthday. Collingwood v Melbourne, 6 v 11th, but there's only 6 points separating all those positions. So it is getting very tight, but definitely crunch time, like Fossil touched on before. The Pies and Demons both desperately looking for a win. The Pies are a little more desperate. That's 3:15 start at the MCG. So it should be an absolute bumper crowd. I'm tipping 80, probably 85,000 plus. And I'll start with those Demons. They're coming off those back-to-back losses against the Bulldogs and Giants. They'll be set to regain lever as long as everything is good in terms of concussion protocols. Melksham and the ruckman Max Heath. They had big games in the VFL, so I expect both of them to be named as well. I think we'll get the teams out maybe Saturday night, Fossils, so might have to wait a little bit. Also, Giarth and Latrell Pickett, they're both touch and go, getting through the fitness test this week. So maybe a few changes coming, but I think they'll get some important players back. And they haven't been great away from the MCG, Fossil, but that's exactly where we meet them this week. So as we look forward to the Pies lineup this week, Foss.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a tough game. Well, very tough game. But yeah, I think Collingwood will make a few changes, William. I think, well, first of all, we better congratulate the young forward in Mitchell Podaski. I think he's 192 centimetres, so all the best. A big game to be playing your first, a big day to be playing your first game, Will. But I'm sure the experienced players will settle him down. I know he'll be very nervy, but all the best to Mitch, his family and friends, and I think that's what we need. Well, we needed that third key forward, so we hopefully he can stay at home and maybe Memory and McStay can go up the ground a bit more. But I think with it's a bit hard to predict, but I think Swaddling, I think he'll come in, Will. And I thought they might have brought Coe in to battle with Corn, especially if they bring their other ruckman in, and probably yeah. So I'm not quite sure how they're going to go, but I think Parker and probably Harrison and Long will probably be omitted. But there's also Perryman too, so I don't know whether there's going to be three or four changes. Will, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I think where Collingwood, if they're going to win the game, William, they've got to lift their Senate clearance work. It's been pretty ordinary the last few weeks. I think 17 minutes in the last quarter last week we were down 12-3. So we need to pick up there and be clean with the ball to give our forwards a chance. I think the thing that I noticed last week, Will, with the centre bouncers, there was nobody behind the opposition ruckman, and that their two guys just ran from left to right. And all our guys were on the defensive side, so maybe they might have a look at putting two on the defensive side, Will, and one behind their ruckman to try and stop them from getting the ball out of the middle, because that's where the dogs tore us apart early. So hopefully we can get somebody behind the pill and it might stop that. I think Cameron, he needs a backup, Will, because if McStay goes into the ruck, we're still left only with Memory and the young Mitchell Podaski. So I'd go with Coe. I'd bring him in to help Cameron out in the ruck, and then it still leaves us with three key forwards, two lead ups, and a stay at home. So I think that's what they've got to look at. And also, too, in the centre clearances, in the centre bounces, Will, instead of playing Anderson and Allen on the wings, I think they're midfielders, Will. So I'd be going for the younger bodies and a bit more pace in the middle. So if we have Cameron De Goey, Nick Dacos, then I think Anderson and Allen can rotate through the middle. So I think that's where they made a bit of a mistake last week. They're trying to play them out of position and they're not wingers. They're on ballers. So, yeah, they can give the older guys a chop out. So that's what I'll be doing, William, going for a bit more pace in the middle of the ground. Uh, also, our kicking inside 50 will has dropped off a lot lately too, and I think that's cost us big time. And our kicking for goal, we have that one bag quarter, and it's cost us big time. So hopefully they can play four quarters, and I think if they do that, William, and they pick up their inside 50 and they're kicking for goal, we've got a great chance of knocking the Demons off. They rely on their forward line a bit, so it'll be our back line against their forward line. So if the back line can hold them and then the forward line can fire, I think we might have enough power to kick a winning score, because the backs have been playing absolutely magnificent. So I think that's what they've got to do. And like I said, and their attack on the ball, Will, has got to be ferocious. None of this half-hearted, one eye shut, one hand going in. They've got to really get in there, hit them hard and know that they've got a game on their hands. So I think if they can do all that, Will, I think we'd see the Pies winning.
It's almost a quarter time tune up there, Fossil, from yourself. So yeah, I think a lot of those things, if they do bring it on Monday, I think go a long way to us winning. But my game focus, sounds like it's stating the obvious, but that connection inside 50 is the most crucial stat, along with that goal kicking accuracy you're talking about, which has been some of Collingwood's worst features this season so far. And the Demons have been much more efficient in front of goal. For a team that scores so high like the Demons, they're ranked fifth overall 99.2 points per game. They are ranked 16th for disposal efficiency and 18th for total possession. So the least possessed, the possession team in the competition. So basically, they don't muck around with it. They just like to get the ball moving quick, create a contest, and let those small crummers get to work. Not flashy, but it does a trick, obviously. So all over the ground, we just need to be prepared for a bit of carnage, and there will be turnovers when we get our chances. We need to make the most of them, and we haven't been able to do that for a lot of this season. But I've really likened this game style to Richmond's dynasty era, 2017 to 2020. So I reckon Stephen King might be looking at the Hardwick playbook there, Fossils. So look for a bit of carnage come Monday, but if the Pies can get those turnovers and take advantage of it, I think we'll be able to put some scoreboard pressure on, and hopefully, if the likes of Perriman come back and they get a bit more structure, they might be able to hold the high scoring Demons off. So fingers crossed for that. As we get to our predictions, I'll touch on last week first against the Doggies. I said Houston for 30 and Josh Dacos for 29. Fossil, no surprise you picked him, but Nick Dacos was 37 in the end, so well and truly in front. The goals, I said to go, he would kick three. He kicked one goal, three, so he had his opportunities. And McCreary, you said three, Fossil. He managed just the one. Membry, of course, the Marvel Stadium, superstar, he kicked three, so we should have really known that one, Foss. And we won't worry about the margin because obviously we didn't get the chocolates going down by 4 points. So your predictions for this week, Foss?
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to tip the Pies. Will I think they'll win by 10 points? Another close game. Josh Dacos to get 27, and
No,
Bo McQuarrie
no,
and Bo.
I'm not taking Josh Dacos. You have to pick somebody else, Fossil. This is
No, he's going to.
no.
He loves the MCG, William.
If
It's
you
his
don't
favourite ground.
if you don't pick him, he'll get the highest possession. So
I don't give a stuff. I'm taking.
pick somebody else. This is
Yes,
you
Josh
can't.
Dacos 27 and Bo McQuarrie 3. William, stick with me. I'm telling you,
That's the
that's what's
exact.
going to
I'm
happen.
sorry, you're reading last week's predictions, Fossil, because you said Josh Dacos for 29. So you've taken only two disposals off him this
Yeah,
week, and
and McQuarrie will have a big one this week, Will. As long as they hit him with those handballs when he's running past William. They missed a couple last week. He should have kicked three easy, Will. He was open, but no
you're
cigar.
all
Poor
talking out.
disposal.
Stop talking out your ass, Fossil. So
I'm not. That's
I'm not.
poor disposal,
I'm
William.
gonna cut you from predictions very soon. So my predictions, guys, I think Nick Dacos, the little master, he wasn't at his best efficiency wise last week. 60%, I think he went by. Still had the 37 touches and got some clearances for us, but I think he's going to go big, Fossil. He's going to have 35 touches and 3 goals to the little master, and that's going to help the Pies get up by 19 points. So that's my
Well, I hope
prediction. All
you're
right.
right there, William. I hope you're right. But you better go back through the tape, Will, and have a look. McQuarrie should have had 3 or 4 goals because they bad handballs and not knocking it out to him. He was open, William. I'm telling you.
When they
But
say
anyway,
fossil, it's shoulda, woulda, coulda. All right, we'll get on to that game day competition, guys. That was one last week, so well done there. It got up to $90, so we're back down. Sorry, guys, it's a $20 this week, but $20 is $20. You can get yourself something nice if you happen to snag it this week. So just remember to follow our Facebook page, Flag Pies, and also with our videos on YouTube, a like, a subscribe, and a share. So obviously we can grow our little Collingwood Connection army there, Fossil. And we do have a message in from a fan, Fossil. I thought I'd better mention this. His name online is Paul Notes. It must be from Paul. He said, agree, Fossil. They lost their selection and need to go taller against the Dees or we had no chance. So there you go,
well, there
Foss.
you go, William. So thank you very much. Well, tell Paul I'm
You're
waiting for a
telling him
phone
right
call.
now, Fossil. I
Well,
don't
I'm
need to
telling you
explain this to
now,
you. Yeah.
Paulie. Do we know where he lives, William? Because I'm going to pick
No.
him up and we're going to go down and see McRae at the next training run. So if he wants the next week, send him where he is and the old apostle pick him up in the tow truck and we'll go and see McRae and get stuck into him, William.
God, there's no guarantee they're in Melbourne either, Fossils. So anyway, thanks,
Well, it
mate.
doesn't matter, but he's on the right tram, William, as I told you so. He's not the only one. So he knows his football. Good on you, Paulie, and we'll see you next week.
You just had to get him started, didn't you, Paulie? So anyway, all right. We'll leave it there, guys. This is Thursday evening, so a few more days to get settled for that buys, and I think the sides will come out on Saturday night. So fingers crossed, Fossil, and hopefully the Pies can have a good game for us.
Yes, well, yeah, we need it statutory, William, because if we lose this one, we're just sort of getting a bit too far behind. So, fingers crossed and go Pies. And like you said, hopefully we can have a big game, Will, and we can all go down home happy Monday night. It'd be magnificent.
Sounds good. All right, go Pies. See you
Go
guys.
Pies.
Bye.
See ya.